At the top of this show, I said that I've been talking to Daniel Cormier about him coming in studio. For years now, we've been talking about it. At least 5-6 years. But he lives on the West Coast. He trains at the American Kickboxing Academy in San Jose. And then casually, he tells me last week that, oh yeah, he's got to go to Boston, and then he's going to New York for a day of media, and then back to Boston. And then he said, New York, I'm coming to New York. And I look at my schedule, and the MMA Hour isn't on that schedule. And so what does he do? The mensch of menches, the champion, the reigning defending champion says, I'm stopping by this show. I don't care what's on the schedule. I don't care what's going on. I am coming by my favorite show. So my friends, let me welcome in.
Where do I go?
The man.
I'm a bit intimidated.
Are you serious? This is like the Tonight Show. Let's stand up here for a second.
This is a bit intimidating. I mean,
years in the making, man.
Look at that. Look at that photo.
The
These
champ.
are some of the greatest moments in mixed martial arts history.
There you go.
And I'm glad that I'm on the wall.
How about that? Welcome, my man.
I made it.
You made it.
I finally made it. Everything I've done up to this point doesn't matter anymore. Will somebody come and take this phone? I don't
Wow, you're rolling deep. You got everyone here. You got Rosendo in the house, Tyler Minden's out. I mean, what are we, 20 deep today?
Tyler and Rosendo have been kind of getting into some issues here.
Oh, really?
Yes, it's been bad.
It's been a long day, right?
You know, Rosendo's like that little chihuahua, right? Like, he nips at you.
Yeah.
And if you kind of kick it, they kind of run away. But if you pull your foot away from it and give it an in, he just keeps getting you. And Tyler just kind of...
He snapped?
He snapped a little bit.
Wow.
Now Rosendo's biting him on his ankles the whole afternoon.
Wow, and it's been since 5 o'clock, right?
3 o'clock.
3 o'clock you woke up?
We left Boston this morning at 3:15 from the hotel.
Damn. How many stops here in New York?
Oh, I kind of lost track, maybe 10, 11.
Was it fruitful? Like, did you enjoy it? You were always kind of, this was like the light at the end of the tunnel, right?
This is what got me through the day. Because initially...
Yeah. We weren't on the schedule.
If this happened a couple weeks ago, before we kind of squashed our beef.
Sure, we had issues.
I would not have been here.
Right. You wouldn't have gone to bat.
Once we squashed our beef and you apologized.
I did, yeah.
we were good to go.
Because I didn't want to, drive a wedge between you and your teammates. I know you're kind of fighting for your guy.
I get it.
But this was nice. I appreciate you going.
Don't lie.
You went to bat for the show, and that meant a lot.
I wanted to come.
Where's Francis Ngannou? He's here. He's not stopping by.
You know, he's been making the rounds.
He's Hollywood now.
He's been making the rounds, doing his thing. You know, I don't want to talk trash about Ngannou, man. He's a good guy.
Okay. So it's been a good day.
It's been a good day.
I keep harping on that, and I'm looking for the smile, because yesterday wasn't a good day.
Oh.
What happened yesterday?
Why would you?
My heart.
Every time I kind of get away from it, you guys bring me back in.
Have you been asked about it today?
All the time, man. So.
Where were you?
I will set the stage for you.
Okay, set it. Paint the picture.
I will set the stage for you. I'll paint a picture. We get to Boston, 4:48 in the afternoon. Yeah. Game starts at 5.
Yeah, perfect.
So perfect timing.
Yeah.
I'm watching on my iPad on the bus to the hotel. Once we get to the hotel now, we're down 17-0. It's halftime.
Okay.
Starting to get a little bit discouraged.
Yeah.
Because, there's a suitcase in my hotel with Saints gear for me, my wife, and my 2 kids, because we were going to Philly after the fight next weekend if we were able to do that.
You packed a whole separate suitcase?
Yeah, we packed our Saints bag.
You brought it with you?
It's with us, but it's in the corner now.
Yeah.
It's safe to next year.
Right.
And we're watching the game, and we start coming back, and I'm like, this might happen, right? They give us the ball back with a minute something. I'm like, you give Drew Brees the ball back with that much time? We're good. Defense have played us back into the half. My son's there, Ariel, my beautiful, beautiful boy. Dan. And he's watching with intent.
Okay.
I don't know if it's because he knows Dad loves it, or I don't know if he knows that we're going to Philly.
Okay.
But he's watching. He's, yes, like at the end of the game. And that play, man, we're up by 2. The guy, Case Keenum, who I absolutely hate now. There's nobody I hate more than Case Keenum. There's been people that I've hated in this world for sports.
Right.
But Case Keenum is by far the person I dislike more than anyone else.
And by all accounts, he seems like a great guy. Like, he does seem...
Forget it. Doesn't matter. We cannot go past the action.
Sure.
The one action, he throws it up. He just threw it up.
Yeah.
And that happened. And my kid goes, what?
Oh, no.
As the guy scored the touchdown, he got up. He just left. I kicked the chair, which I kicked the chair hard. They're like, dude, calm down. You're going to hurt your foot.
Yeah.
I kicked the chair. I'm yelling. I'm on the ground. Like, how does that even happen? Because it seems so ridiculous. My boy walks across the hallway to his mom's room. 10 minutes pass. I go check on him, and his eyes are teary-eyed.
Oh, no.
The boy's crying.
Damn.
And it was cool that it mattered to him.
Yeah.
But also it kind of shows why kids don't get that invested, because I don't know if they can handle the roller coaster of sports at that age. So, rough night for me, man. But as I look back, I'm like, you know, Marcus Williams, man, he had a great season for us as a rookie. Played well, and he's going to have a long, great career. So things happen.
Keyshawn's nephew.
Yeah, things
I didn't know
happen, man. Yeah, things happen, and he made a mistake. That's really all that was. The guy made a mistake. He's a rookie. And you can't, it's easy to blame the entire game on him because he missed a tackle, but we wouldn't have been back in the game if he didn't catch that interception. He had 3 pass breakups, 5 tackles. He's playing a phenomenal game. So.
But that's kind of like a standard play, right? I mean, like you kind of make that tackle, no?
And I mean, of course. And the game's over, right?
Yeah.
There's no way they get the guy onto the field, line up, and kick a 56-yard field goal with 10 seconds left. They were at the 39, man.
Yeah, man.
And you make me, and I got a friend named Jason, and he loves the Vikings, man. And he sent me a text last night. He goes, "Hello, brother. How are you? Hope you're having a wonderful evening."
What?
And I'm like, how could you say something like that to me, knowing what I'm feeling? I got a lot of texts, like well wishes, Ariel, because people know that one's real.
Yeah.
And I've got a pretty cool little stick, you know, bandwagon jump, but this one's real.
Yeah. Did you ever feel that watching sports?
Man,
that one hurt.
Just watching the Saints, that one hurt.
Yeah.
Steve Becker told me something good though.
Okay, who's Steve Becker for people that don't know?
Steve Becker's the producer, the executive producer of UFC Tonight and everything.
Yep, UFC on Fox.
UFC on Fox, everything.
Yeah.
He's a man. So Steve texted me, he goes, I was telling him how hard it was for Daniel, and he goes, tell him it can't get worse, right? That's as bad as it's ever gonna get. So explain to him that even though you dealt with that gut punch, it could never get worse. And I had to try to tell him that and explain that to him, but yeah, he was mad, man. Dude's eyes were just watered up and stuff. I was like, shoots, I couldn't have been in there 10 minutes ago because I wanted to cry.
Yeah. Are you the kind of guy who's like, man, this is like, you're not really superstitious where it's like, this is an omen? Like, you feel that way about things? Like, oh, the week was going to start so good for me.
Let me tell you something.
Okay, tell me.
Let me tell you something.
All right.
The Miracle in Minneapolis can't save Volkan Oezdemir on Saturday night. The Miracle in Minneapolis cannot save Volkan Oezdemir from what's coming to him.
All right, fair enough. Because you don't believe in like bad juju and all that stuff. No.
Get that.
All right.
Nah.
Has he taken a turn on you here?
Volkan?
Like, did you think for a second, like, oh, nice little Swiss guy, and then he puts out that thing on Instagram?
He's giving chocolates?
Yeah.
He better not give me chocolates. Smack the chocolates in his face. Yeah. Try to give me chocolates after putting that up there. Not really.
Okay.
I take it all in stride. I've been here before, right?
Yeah.
This is not new to me.
Are you searching for something with him? Because it was so intense in the past with guys like Jon?
Not really. I mean, I don't need that.
You don't need
it? No, I don't really need it. But it's like he kind of changed on me. And I go, hey, nice burn. That was a pretty good one.
Yeah, but then you got him back.
Quick point, real quick.
Yeah.
You're no Jon Jones by any stretch of the imagination. And I got to be very careful when I talk about Jimmy Manawa, right? Because Jimmy Manawa is kind of a mean guy, you know, so he'll be like, hey, man,
Yeah.
Jimmy gets knocked out every time he loses.
Okay.
Right. I'm no Jimmy Manawa.
Right.
So pump your brakes, young Swiss.
Okay.
Little young Swiss boy. The little drummer boy. Calm down, Volkan. Calm down, little drummer boy, with your pictures. Yeah, I had to get him, though. I had to get him.
You know, when you first fought Rumble Johnson, you said like almost essentially like once a quitter, always a quitter. He has quit in the past, right?
That's the tap machine. I call him tap machine.
Do you believe that?
Tap machine with Kelly Amundsen. Is this Amundsen?
Yeah.
Kelly Amundsen?
Yep.
Yeah, he made him into a tap machine. Neck crank.
Same team, too. Not at the time.
Who? They were on the same team together?
No. Rumble and Volkan. Like, you believe like once a quitter, always a quitter here.
But I don't believe Volkan's going to quit like Anthony.
No.
I
Why?
think because he'll try, right?
Okay.
I've heard stories of him going to the gym and just getting demolished by Rumble, but he kept coming back. That's a very key, that's a very good attribute to have, is not to quit. So I don't expect him to quit. I expect him to just be overwhelmed and not be able to win the fight.
Okay.
But it won't be for him quitting. He just won't be able to win the fight.
In the UFC, we've never really seen him in deep waters. I mean, he went the distance with the Vince, but like the going didn't get tough. You know what I mean?
I mean, it got tough in the third round and he was getting blasted.
Yeah.
Like, as the fight went on, Vince was tearing him apart, you know, and A lot of people thought Vince won that fight.
Do you think he won that fight? Have you rewatched it?
It was I watched that fight in February. And it was close. I mean, it could have went either way. I wasn't super upset with it. I mean, I thought Volkan won the first 2 rounds. I thought he got beat bad in the third, but I thought he won the first 2.
You know what's so fascinating? This fight fascinates me because there's something so unique about this particular fight that we've really never seen in a UFC title fight before. And I'm hoping, and I know you'll be honest about it when you talk about the psychology. It's always very interesting to see how a fighter, and in your case, a champion, responds after getting knocked out.
Mm-hmm.
You just got knocked out,
but
you're the champion.
It's a crazy.
And when you're a champion, when you're walking into a title fight, you're usually on a 5, 6, 7 win streak.
Yeah.
Here, you have to kind of deal with those demons and get back, and we don't know how you're going to respond and everything. What is that like?
I'm the guy coming off of a loss.
Yeah, he has a longer winning streak. Yeah, how do you deal with that?
It's I have to rely on just my experiences from before. I mean, when I fought Rumble the first time, he was on a winning streak, and I had just lost against Jones. And now it's the same situation. I've done it in wrestling, where I've been in the same type of situation. I have to just believe in myself, right? Believe in my skills and the things that I do well. And I believe that as a mixed martial artist, I'm better than him. I mean, there's no ifs, ands, buts about it. Can he win the fight? Yeah, but he has to knock me out. He cannot beat me over 25 minutes. He cannot submit me. I can submit him. I can win by decision. I can knock him out. I can beat him in every single area of the fight. I can get to a W. I believe he has one way to win the fight, and that's to knock me out. And that's not as easy as he thinks it's going to be.
Have you sensed a difference in yourself, this training camp, the way you think about the fight, the way you think about fighting? Is there any difference coming off what happened at 214?
Yeah, there's a bit of a sense of urgency, right? Like I'm kind of like, man, July 29th sucks so bad. Like, I feel like I lost my entire world, because I had built so long to that fight. And then I think to myself, but if I don't get prepared, I would feel a lot worse going through what I went through in July and then going through that again on January 20th. Because it's easy to look at a guy like Volkan Oezdemir and go, I'm going to smash this dude. But you got to prepare yourself. I got to prepare myself for all the things that he brings to the table, all the confidence that he has in his hands, all the preparation, right? Because this is their fourth fight. This is their 4th time. Henry Hoof, Greg Jones, all those guys, that 4th chance. Rumble 1, Rumble 2 when I got hurt, and then the actual time that Rumble and I fought in Buffalo. This is time number 4 for them to try to beat me. So they've got a lot of insight into what I do. Okay, so it's almost a blessing in a way, right? Because I was just worried that someone was telling me something. It was those pesky embedded people filming. Yeah, they're always
around. This is not making embedded. Are you kidding me? This is going to get to Dana's desk and he's going to cut it right out.
I don't know if you make it embedded, but
hey, Dana, how are you?
I don't know. I got to be honest with you. I don't know if you make it embedded.
But you know what? This is the best stuff of the day. So it's my gift to all of you. Sell those pay-per-views. You know what I'm saying? But in a way, Volkan is almost like him fight. Like you just said, oh, it's easy to dismiss a Volkan, but because he's coming off a loss, like if you were on a 4, 5, 6 fight winning streak, you'd be like, it's another guy on the list.
Another guy.
But he's coming at the perfect time, right? This particular guy coming off the loss.
Where you're motivated, where you're saying, I need to get rid of what happened to me July 29th. So yeah, it's a perfect time to fight a guy like that, a guy that's very, very dangerous and coming hard charging. He's won some fights in ways that just seems odd and freakish. That punch against Misha Serkinov was crazy. And then, Jimmy Manoa, he got him from the clinch. I love to clinch. That's why I like to fight. So there's some danger in the fight, but I'm very aware of it. But I refuse to make him something he's not. I'm not going to make him King Kong. I'm not going to make him into some Mike Tyson of the UFC. I'm not doing that. He's a guy that can punch hard, but most of us can't at 205 pounds or heavyweight.
I noticed something when you did the press conference in Vegas before 219, and I don't know if I'm reading into it. You tell me. When you faced off, and then when you turned to the crowd, they gave you the belt, but you just kind of held it down. Was there anything more to that? You didn't really show it off.
I'm not, it's not like I'm as proud of it because of the loss.
So you did that consciously.
Of course, I'm not carrying it with me right now.
Okay.
It's not on the desk.
Yeah.
Most champions come in here and they put it on the desk on display. I lost a fight. I almost feel like I'm in the same situation as the Rumble fight, fighting for a vacant championship. I get it. Trust me, I do want to walk in there as the champion because I get pay-per-view points. And as a financial incentive, it's very important for me to be the champ. But mentally, I almost feel like I'm fighting for a vacant title again. And I can deal with that, because I will feel better once I win and I get the belt strapped around me again.
Okay.
It's just me. I can't change who I am, Ariel. I am who I am, man. Because of that, though. Because of that mentality and all that other stuff.
Last time you were on, you talked about the nightmares. Do you still have them leading up to the fight, or have they gone away?
It's all my failures, right?
All of them.
All of them.
They come and go. They creep up.
They come, they go.
Really? Is there one that persists?
I mean, obviously it's this Jones fight, the last one. And the Olympics, 2004. I remember the bronze medal match, up 2-0 in overtime, with a minute and a half left in the match, and I give up 3 points out of nowhere. I was well on the way to winning the bronze medal, and I blew it. So those kind of come back to me, but not right now. Right now, the focus is what's at hand. I feel like a lot of times those things come to me whenever I have nothing else going on, right? I'm just like, what the hell just happened? I lost. And it's like those losses, they stay with me. But they serve as motivation.
It's funny. I was listening to a podcast on the way here, a hockey podcast of all things. I'm very well-rounded. I like all kinds of sports, Daniel. And actually, they were talking about a quote, and it actually made me think of you. And the quote was, there comes a point in your life where you have to decide whether or not to quit or to work harder.
Yeah.
Like even when a job, like you kind of get complacent, I'm going to go do something else, or maybe I'll just take things up a notch and work a little harder. And I feel that kind of symbolizes your life in many, like you talked about the Olympics.
Yeah.
Bronze medal, quit or just work harder. UFC, quit, work harder with Jon Jones and what happened. This situation, I mean, did you ever think about quitting after what happened at 214? Did that ever cross your mind?
No.
Because you reached the mountaintop, you lost to him twice, you were going to keep working hard. That was the decision.
I was going to figure out a way to try to get a third fight. I had this quote in my phone. Who has my phone? I think it's very important because, look, and this may actually relate to you a little bit because it's from your Bills, right?
My Buffalo Bills.
Your Buffalo Bills.
Okay, what do we got?
Whenever
Rosendo, thank you.
Thank
You're
you,
doing great.
Oh, hey, Rosendo just made his MMA fighting debut. I know you guys love it.
That was big. I just saw the numbers spike.
Yeah, they went up way up. But no, man, I was reading. Let me hear. Okay,
what do we got?
So Winston Churchill recited.
Oh, yes.
And this was, the Bills lost in the first Super Bowl. And I think I heard that the coach said, and he read this poem. He said, look, guys, you have to fight, right? And it was, fight on, my men. A little, I'm hurt, but I'm not yet slain. I'm just going to lie down. I'm going to bleed for a while because you have to. You have to allow yourself to take it all in. And then I'll rise again. So it meant over the last 6 months, I let it bleed a little bit. I was never going to quit. I was down, but I wasn't out. And that's what that quote tells me, right? That quote tells me that I'm gonna hurt, and I'm gonna let it hurt. When the time is right, I'll come back. So I never thought about giving up. I always knew that I was gonna fight again. I just didn't know when or in what way in terms of getting another fight with Jones. And Marv Levy said this to the team, and that was Super Bowl #1, and they kept coming back. They ended up losing all those games. Sorry.
Thank you.
You did give me the Saints thing.
Yeah.
But they lost all those games, but they kept fighting and kept coming back until that run was over. So that stuck with his guys, and it kind of stuck with me too. And I received that a while back, and I thought it was very, very telling.
I'm going to cry here.
In terms of me.
Not only do you tell the UFC, I need to come on Ariel's show, you come here and you quote the great Marv Levy, one of the great Jewish coaches in NFL history. My Buffalo Bills, they just lost last week. I mean, Daniel.
You guys shouldn't have been in the playoffs.
What? Yeah, I'm trying to have a moment here with you.
Too. I know. I'm definitely.
Wow, that was beautiful.
No, it was very like.
You always used to read that to them. Yeah, after the Giants.
Because you're hurt, right? Like you're hurt.
Yeah.
When you lose in the way that I did, you're hurt. You're down. But are you out? Not really. Not really out, you know? Got to take some time, though. I'm going to rest. I'm going to let everything move around me a little bit.
Wow.
And then I'm going to come back. And that's what I feel like right now.
Do you feel like all great athletes need to experience things like that? Like you're not truly great unless you suffer, unless you stumble. You know what I mean?
I mean,
does it make you into a better athlete? Do you need those experiences?
I think it makes you a better person. I think it makes you a better person. You know, you learn to deal with the ups and the downs. And again, you know, everything everything to me is all in perspective because I've experienced so many other things that are so much worse than losing a fight in mixed martial arts. And when it feels like I feel terrible, I'm never going to be okay, I think back to those experiences and go, you know what? It could be a lot worse. So I just get back on the horse and I get going again.
Do you ever think about a movie about your life? Honestly, I think like you mentioned these things. I don't know if people really know your story.
Yeah.
Like your story is insane.
It's crazy,
everything
man.
That you've been through.
Yeah, it's crazy. You know, like it's just crazy that I feel like all these things that I have been through and that I've had to do have made me who I am today. Because without those things, I wouldn't be where I am. I wouldn't be strong, right? The loss of the Olympics might have crushed me.
Yeah.
Or losing to Jon Jones might have crushed me. Because of all my past experience and all the things that I've done, it can't crush me. I just keep getting up and just keep getting better and keep trying and trying and trying. That's always kind of been my thing, right? From when I was a kid, getting beat up and bullied and wrestling when I first started, like losing and losing. I always was the kid that just kept coming. So when we applaud Volkan for that type of attitude where you're getting whipped in the gym, but you keep coming, I'm the same way, you know? So then it comes down to a matter of skill, and I feel like I have more. That's
why you can make jokes about the crying. You can put out the gifts. It's like on the scale of things that you've experienced, it's like
it's nothing. People
the basement.
People put those crying things of me up, and initially I was like, that sucked. But then I look back and I'm like, it's really not that big a deal because I go back into all my pictures, and every time I lost, I cried.
Right.
It's just that it wasn't on this scale.
Right.
So when people put that up there, I'm like, I've seen this my entire life. Everybody that knows me have seen this because everything I do, I give 110% of myself to doing it and being successful. So when it doesn't go my way, I cry.
Yeah, you posted that picture of you
it was high school, right?
On the podium.
So I was at the podium.
Where'd you find that?
At there's a regional training facility in Louisiana, and I was the first guy from Louisiana to make All-American in this tournament.
Okay.
There were 120 kids in my bracket, and I got to the finals and I lost. And the award ceremony's right after. 10 minutes, and I was still crying. So by the time I got up there, it was all tears. And that picture's been up in there since I graduated high school in 1997. So every time I give so much of myself to my athletics that when it doesn't work, it really does hurt me.
What do you think will happen when you're done? That time has come. You're talking a little bit more about it these days. Is it going to be really hard for you mentally? Because you like almost the crying, the ups, the downs. It's part of who you are now. It's your fabric.
Competition, right?
You won't have that. Yeah,
I won't. Between 2008 Olympics and 2009, when I started fighting, I played 900 games of NBA 2K because I needed something, right? I was just playing video games because I needed something. I think I'll get that from my kids.
Okay.
You know, my daughter's gymnast. She's just levels, like she go from level 1 to level 2, level 3. It's like all just going so fast for us. And little Daniel's been wrestling now. He's been in more bigger tournaments and he's starting to get a hang of it. So I'll get that from my kids, you know, and spend time with my wife, and I still can work commentary. I'll be competitive in that field, I guess.
Where do you get that from? Do you know?
I don't.
You don't know where?
I don't even know, man. It was something that was just kind of in me, I guess. And when I started to compete, it sparked it, right? At first, I was just a normal kid, you know, growing up in Louisiana. But then when I picked up wrestling, I guess, it kind of sparked that competition side of me. And it's been just strong ever since.
Are you surprised that Jon Jones's cloud is not hanging over this event? Like, I'm kind of shocked that no one's talking about Jon Jones. Like, I thought, like, oh, it won't be the same. You know what I mean? But I'm just kind of surprised that he's not being talked about. Like, almost like people are like, I'm kind of over it at this point.
You know, I think I've answered questions in regard to him as I always will.
Yeah.
But it's not as prevalent as before.
Yeah.
Before it was like constant. Every second, third question was about him, and I just think maybe people are kind of waiting for him to have his day in court and see what happens. But you just you just can't have unlimited opportunities or chances to do stuff wrong and not really start to feel people kind of go, I'm kind of over this, at least for the moment.
Right.
When he comes back, people will watch him fight because he's a great fighter. But right now, I think it's easier to accept that, he's ineligible for however long he's ineligible for.
Do you expect him to pop up this week?
Nah, I don't know.
You don't care?
I don't really care.
Okay.
Again, I've let it go. I had to.
Yeah.
I can't let these guys control me anymore and let my emotions be tied to people individually. I'm going to worry about myself and go out there on Saturday, fight Volkan, beat Volkan, and just kind of move on to the next one.
Have the pro wrestling guys
laid off?
Have they laid off? What's going on?
Guys, I don't know what's wrong with these dudes.
They don't know where you've been.
Just because
you're old school.
Because I don't like dudes doing flips.
Yeah.
Like that was weeks ago. The guys did a 6-man drop kick. But there's legitimately 2 feet of air between each guy.
Yeah, come on.
I'm like, guys, care enough to make me think that it's real.
You've been watching forever. Like
Man,
you're probably more of an aficionado than half these guys.
I've been watching since Ric Flair, Dusty, they were all kind of getting the blade. They were getting beat up.
Yeah.
Guys were working stiff. I love when they say a guy
What about the Junkyard
stiff.
Dog story? Can you tell the Junkyard Dog story?
Oh, man.
What a story.
The Junkyard Dog story was, he used to live in my hometown of Lafayette. So when I was in high school, my ex-girlfriend was working at Sonic,
Yeah.
the ice cream shop. And she said, there's a professional wrestler that's going to be signing autographs. And I was like, who is it? She goes, I don't know. She was like, you should come. It's at 1 o'clock. So I go. And it's JYD, man. And I'm geeking, right? I'm geeking. I'm like, oh my goodness, the Junkyard Dog. Big chain, white tights, red boots, kind of doing the whole butterfly looking thing. But as I drive up, something odd happens. I'm the only one driving up. And
I don't want to laugh.
It's not funny,
sad.
dude.
Yeah.
It's very sad, but I'm
Yeah.
the only one driving up with Junkyard Dog, and he's sitting there with a stack of pictures.
Oh.
And I walk up and I go, hey, can I have a picture? I'm a big fan, Junkyard Dog. And he gives it to me. But then nothing else happens, so then we're kind of just standing. I'm standing right next to him. And I sat down. I was like, I'm going to talk to this dude. And then we just talked for like a couple hours, just talking about wrestling.
Just you and him?
Me and the Junkyard
Not
Dog.
a single person came up to him throughout the day.
Man.
That is so
It was
sad.
just me and him. But it was at a time that his life was kind of on the downturn.
Yeah.
A lot of times they start to do drugs and stuff and all that other stuff. Stuff goes sideways, and it was at a time where things weren't going very good for him. And
did you get a sense of that? Could you tell that he was down?
I could tell because nobody else came.
Yeah.
You could tell that everybody had become so familiar with him
Yeah.
that it wasn't a big deal anymore, but it was for me. And I appreciated that because I got to sit and talk to that dude for a while.
Yeah.
And pick his brain and learn a lot about the business and learn a lot about professional wrestling. And I remember sitting in not even arenas, gymnasiums
Yeah.
with folding chairs when he was in Mid-South. And the big cat, Ernie Ladd, was in Mid-South.
Yeah.
Like I remember times like that. So having a chance to really talk to him was amazing for me.
Yeah, so don't preach to Daniel Cormier about pro wrestling.
No, I've always loved it. Right now I'm not watching as much anymore because these guys kind of pissed me off a little bit.
Oh,
They've
really?
turned me off the whole shit.
You boycotted it?
They've turned me off. I'm like, what is wrong with these dudes? Everybody's not gonna like everything you do.
Right.
Just so happens that I'm a professional wrestling fan
Right.
that has a bit of a following himself, and I got these the insults were like the guys, the wrestlers themselves said some stuff, and I was like, well, first off, calm down.
Yeah.
Because calm down. Initially, just calm down.
Right.
But then, because then, you and all of it together. Anyways, calm down. But secondly, it's like you can't dictate to people. And what really got me was when a guy told me, he called me a charisma vacuum.
What?
Meaning that I guess when I get on TV, it's like everybody turns off.
Who said this?
Some guy on the internet.
Oh, just a fan.
Yes.
Not a wrestler.
And then he goes,
okay.
You better go to the Performance Institute or whatever it's called.
Man.
He goes, because Cody Rhodes will whip you. He's a 2-time state wrestling champion. Because he would kick your butt.
Yeah.
He's a 2-time state wrestling champion. Face, palm, my neck, your chin. When when you get really upset, your chin touches what?
Your chest?
Oh, yeah, chin,
Okay.
chest. I was like, that's just too much. I was like, this guy's crazy. So Yeah, it kind of turned me off of it right after that.
I've never asked you about the walkout. It's maybe my favorite walkout in the game because you have the shorts, the shirt tucked in, the high socks. You go like, you check everything. No, first you take a minute.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Then you check everything and then you sprint.
Yes.
What is going on? Can you tell us before the camera goes on, you like when you know it's 2-3 minutes, what is going on? GSP was sitting here a couple of weeks ago and he told an amazing story that he goes up to the mirror and he tells himself like, you can do this, you're the man.
Oh.
He does his black belt thing. Like he has to psych himself up. What are you doing? Can you tell us the whole thing? Because I love that walkout. It's one of the best.
I stand there. Bob should have it on video or on audio. You have that video at all of any of this? But try to find it up, Bob. But I talk to myself.
You do?
Kevin Jackson used to always do this for me.
Okay.
Let's go, DC. Let's go, DC. You can do this. You know, come on. This guy has nothing for you. He always would tell me that. And Kevin Jackson's not there anymore. So now I tell it to myself. And I go into the bathroom.
You do? Okay.
And I take a moment. And I try to hype myself up and really get in the zone before I make that walk. And when I get there, it's just kind of wake up the body. Smack, 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 face, smack, and then run. Let's go. We've waited 8, 9, 10 weeks to get to this moment. Why are we walking? I don't have time to take this in. I want to get into the octagon and go and do my business. My team, my family, we've all sacrificed so much to get to this moment. Why should I make you wait anymore? Let's go do our thing. Let's go fight. Let's go do what we've been training so hard to do. So I run. And it's this adrenaline in this. There's nothing like it. It's like a drug. And when you get there, because I feel like if you're walking, and if you're not a person that truly, truly wants to absorb everything from the crowd, you're taking in all this stuff that you don't need. I hear them. I hear my fans clapping. I hear them yelling. I love them for it. But I take in what I need, and you only got a short period of time for me to take that in because I go from point A to point B. And once I get in the cage, I'm like, all right, man. I'm like, it's time to go. And the one thing that hasn't changed in 21 fights, I've been there and I'm getting ready to fight, and I'm like, yes, yes. Finally, finally, finally. And your heart's thumping, and you got all this adrenaline. And every time the guy, his name is actually...
Are you texting someone in the
No,
middle
I'm
of this
actually
moment?
showed... I
What's
got the video
happening
now.
here?
I got
you
the
did?
video, yeah.
I was like, I'm having a moment
Bob has
here.
recorded it before, but every time...
recorded you in the...
Yes, because
that's
my
incredible.
other manager, Dwayne Zinkin, loves hearing it because he wants to know that I'm okay.
Wow.
But this guy named Rambo, I met him when he was working on The Ultimate Fighter. He puts the pin inside the octagon cage.
Okay.
And every time I hear that ping,
You hear it?
I hear it every time.
Wow.
Everything. I hear that ping, and I'm like, okay, it's go time now. Nobody's going to save me. It's me and this dude right here. And I love it, man. I just get like almost chills every time.
What do you think when you when you stop right there for that minute where it seems like you're praying or something? What are you doing? You know that 1 second right before you run out?
Yeah, I just kind of slap myself and just kind of take, that's where I take in my energy from the crowd.
Okay,
right?
okay.
So when I first get to the arena, Bob and I walk out a little bit, take it in, take a few deep breaths, feel the energy of the crowd.
Okay.
Then I take it in when I make that stop, and then I get walking, and I get running, and I get ready to go. I'm going to put this right next to my microphone, see if it picks it up.
Yeah. Or you could do it in front of mine. Oh.
Look.
Oh. There it is. Wow. So Daniel is, you may not be able to see this, but he's walking back and forth. Wow, that is intense. Which fight is this?
This was, this might have been Anderson Silva or somebody. I don't know. Rumble Johnson.
So you're really...
But this is...
Damn, you're turning into a different person here.
You got to, right? Because I'm gonna go and fight. And that's when they come in, they tell me, they say, DC, you got 5 minutes. And I go
You're
and
nervous?
do my thing. Competitive nerves.
Okay. The good kind of nerves?
Competitive nerves, good nerves, but there is no place I'd rather be than in that arena, in that locker room, getting ready to go out and test myself against one of the best fighters in the world.
Is the shirt tucked in a nod to the old days?
That's an old days. That's a wrestler.
I'm
a wrestler.
I love it.
At the end of the day, I'm a wrestling
socks.
coach. High socks, wrestling shoes, if I could wear them.
Why don't you wear them?
I don't have Reebok wrestling shoes. I just wear tennis shoes, but Yeah, shirt tucked in, pulled up real high. Everybody makes fun of me about pulling my shirt up by my navel.
No, it's great. It's great.
At first, it helps to hide the belly.
Yeah.
But then also, it's an old wrestling coach thing, man. Just, I want to get to business. I want to get to business. I love to fight, and I want to get to business.
Why that song that you always play, the Lil Wayne Drake song?
The lyrics to the song says, you know you're at the top when only heaven's right above it. And that's what I feel. I don't feel like anyone is trying, or anyone is. I gotta have confidence in myself. I have confidence that I am at the top of this game. I'm at the highest level of this sport. No matter how long I've been here, no matter how many fights I've won, how many I've lost, I'm at the top of this sport. And I love the lyrics. Lil Wayne's from Louisiana. It's just some of the words, you know. He said, the guy's in trouble, right? Because he stumbled across a place where people are making gumbo. That's Louisiana. People aren't making gumbo anywhere else. You know, you stumble into Louisiana in the wrong place, you're going to have a problem. So in that moment, you're in the wrong place. You're in there with a person that has grown up eating that gumbo and living that southern, swampy, dirty life, and you're just in the wrong spot. I love the song.
Before you retire, you have to fight in Louisiana, right?
I would love to, but I don't intend to lose this belt.
Sure.
And I'm not sure if they would do a pay-per-view down in New Orleans.
Why not?
I mean, our economy isn't the best in terms of, you know, I know it's been 12 years since Katrina, but we don't have the most money. You know, they're hardworking people down there in Louisiana, but it's not the most, it's not a really ritzy place. And UFC has done well, but not like some of these other big places. So you may go and you charge ringside seats in Louisiana have to be a lot less than it can be in Vegas, Boston, New York. Okay. So you go to those places.
Last thing before I let you go, because I know you've been talking a lot today and you're probably tired. You have to go back, right? Don't you have a flight?
I'm about to leave. Like my flight leaves at 7:30. I'm going back to Boston.
JFK? LaGuardia? JFK. Okay. I think you don't have a private plane?
You know, we did last time, but this time it wasn't worth it. You know, my sponsor, Oak Grove Technologies, they did it the first time. Yeah. They would have done it again, but I was like, you know, I'll just take it. It's Monday. We're going to go early and we're back the same day. I didn't have to overnight it, which was good. Okay. Last thing. I want to tie this whole show together. We had Scott Coker on earlier today. And I asked him, favorite Strikeforce memory. This is the one he picked. I swear to God, this is the one he picked. He said one day, and you talked about Bob Cook. Yeah. Bob Cook said, I want you to meet someone. And you met at a pizza place in San Jose. Now I forget what the pizza place is. Do you remember? Does Bob remember? Willow Street. There it is. Willow Street Pizza. You walk in. He says there's an out-of-shape guy, and he's like, who's this guy? Yeah. And he sits down, and he's like, all right, I'll take a flyer. I'll sign him. And then you blew him away. And he's like, he mentioned you so many times today, like how proud he was of you and how he's going to watch your fight and all this stuff. And I couldn't believe that was the moment that he picked. Do you remember that? I do. Bob and I walked into this place, and he goes, I'm going to go here. I have to talk to Scott Coker. He goes, he's the man of Strikeforce. And he goes, if you're going to get into this organization, it's going to go through Scott. So we go. And we sit down. It didn't help that I probably ate almost a half a pizza by myself, too. I walked in there, 250, 260, maybe? 260. 260 couple. Ate a whole freaking pizza. Scott goes, you gonna be ready to fight in 3 weeks? I go, dude, it's in Oklahoma. I'll help you sell tickets. I probably sold like 5 tickets. Right. I just said I was going to help him sell tickets. Right. He gave me a shot, and I'm forever indebted to him. I mean, he believed in me when nobody else did. You know, I was down on my luck after the 2008 Olympics and just kind of starting this new career. And this dude believed in me and gave me a shot. 3 weeks later, I fought in Tulsa, Oklahoma. I remember. Strikeforce Challengers against Gary Frazier. And it just went crazy from there. Yeah, he's a great guy, man. And I'm so happy that he's doing so well at Bellator. He deserves all the success in the world. And occasionally, we'll get food together still. Yeah. Like Scott, we go to this. You own Korean barbecue, he said. Yes. Yes. I do own one right now. Yes. But we go Korean barbecue and we eat, and he's a good guy. He's a fantastic dude. Yeah, it was amazing that he brought that up of all the stories. I remember writing that story that you were going to debut for them in Oklahoma at the Apple store because my computer broke. Yeah, and I remember going to one of the public computers and writing it. You didn't have a computer. I did. Let's not get crazy and act like you had a computer back then. You didn't. Yeah. Somebody called me and they go, you need to do this interview with Ariel Helwani. I was like,
The hell's that guy?
Girl, I was like, I didn't know. And then Heidi told me, she goes, no, she goes, he's good. And she goes, he's going to be one of the biggest names in the sport.
Oh, wow. Thank you.
And I go, okay. So I did it, and we were good for a while.
We were good.
And then you did that thing, and then we kind of went back. Now we're back.
Now we're back.
We're back.
Thank you so much.
We had went bad.
For a minute.
It's quick.
We had to tell the people that it's not always,
It's not always roses and strawberries.
Yes.
Sometimes I want to beat
Sometimes
you up.
lovers quarrel.
Yes, I know.
And last thing, what's this all about?
Oh, it's just my necklace.
Okay, I feel like you've been wearing it a lot more these days.
Yes, just
What's its
It's Saint Christopher, traveling.
Who's that?
He's the patron saint of travel, like long journey. I'm on the journey, you know.
All right.
So we're just kind of we came across the country to fight in Boston. This fight camp's been a journey, everything.
Well, I can't tell you how much it meant, honestly, that you would come here before you went out and that you asked to come here. We've been talking about this for a while, you being
finally.
in here. I didn't expect it under these circumstances, but this is great.
It happened.
Screw the Saints.
So
this
happy.
is your good luck charm.
Well, let's not get crazy here. One thing before I go.
Oh, please.
I want to say one thing real quick about the fight on Saturday.
Please.
There's varsity and there's JV. Have you ever heard of that?
Yes, I have.
Henry Hoof is a great guy. Greg Jones is a fantastic guy. I don't know who the jiu-jitsu coach is down there. But they're all fantastic guys. They had a wrestle-off. Anthony whipped Volkan. So Volkan became the training partner.
Mm-hmm.
He went to get beat up. They sent the A guy in there. Got whipped. They built him back up. He came back in there again, and he got whipped. Now he's gone. So now they're going to bring the JV guy. What are you going to do, Volkan? What can you do different when you weren't even the first choice? You weren't even the first choice. Volkan, you weren't even the first choice to come out here and try to beat me. That's like me telling Frank Munoz, hey, bud, I can't beat Jon Jones. I need you to go do this for me. Come on. Come on, Black Zillions. Come on.
No chance in hell.
Like the great Vince McMahon.
That's right.
Like the great Vince McMahon. May go on to have a fantastic career.
Sure.
This weekend's not
Not Saturday.
No.
Not on your watch.
Not on my watch.
Like the great Marv Levy once said,
hey,
when it's too tough for them, it's just right for us.
Just right for me.
There you go.
The old guard ain't ready yet.
That's right.
I'm not ready to pass the torch yet. The old watchdog's still on. This one's still, I'm going to get the job done this Saturday.
I look forward to it.
I was just joking. I'm just kidding. But
no, it's good. It's
but
good
JV guy, you don't bring the JV guy. Come on.
Amen.
You get pinned.
I'll see you in Boston.
My man.
Thanks, my man.
Thank you
so much. Daniel Cormier, I really appreciate it. Safe travels out there to Boston. Thank you, everyone. I really appreciate it. Peace out.